طيب, and before we conclude, ya ikhwan, we wanted to briefly address something that was raised to us.
And that is in relation to some concerns that perhaps those who are new to the da'wah regarding our mashayikh and the tullab al-ilm and du'at in the Maktab al-Salafiyah and Salafi publications. And walillah alhamd, we find that which we have been talking about today, and in relation to the topic we're going over, the methodology of the prophets, according to Allah Azza wa Jal, that we find by the fadl and the virtue of Allah Azza wa Jal, that the da'wah of our mashayikh, that da'wah to Salafiyah Muhammadiyah, that it is in line with the call of all of the prophets and the messengers, because it is a call to the tawheed of Allah Azza wa Jal. That who do we find prioritizing and nurturing communities upon tawheed and sunnah, that by the blessing of Allah Azza wa Jal, that we have our mashayikh who for decades have been teaching the people this methodology and giving da'wah in accordance to this methodology and calling the people back to tawheed and warning the people from shirk and those who promote it, calling the people to sunnah, warning the people from innovation and those who promote it. That by the fadl and the virtue of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, that we find that our mashayikh have nurtured entire communities upon these usul, upon these foundations and these fundamentals. So for those who have those concerns, you only need to look at the methodology and understand the methodology of the prophets, and to look at the da'wah of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his sunnah, in order to see and understand that who is truly calling to his sunnah, and who is truly calling to that methodology, and who is nurturing communities upon that methodology. That walillah alhamd is clear for all to see by the fadl and the virtue of Allah Azza wa Jal. So pay no attention to those who speak ill of or try to revile those callers to Qur'ani wa Sunnah, those callers to Tawheed, those who are at work clarifying the deen of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, clarifying the Sunnah of His Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, teaching the people in accordance to the understanding of the Sahaba and the Salaf, those whose efforts and juhud are clear for all to see. Walillahi alhamd wal minnah. And this is not my defense of them or my praise for them, because they are not in need of praise or defense min amthali, from the likes of myself. But rather, ikhwan, we refer back to the ulama, to the scholars, that by the virtue of Allah Azza wa Jal, that we have ulama al-kibar, we have major scholars who have praised them, who spoke well of them, with specific and detailed praises. And we just thought it would be worth mentioning, ya ikhwan, in order to dispel any doubt or any confusion or any concern. And bi'idhnillah, we've gathered some of those praises just as a reminder for us, and to look back and see what the ulama and the scholars have said in relation to them, in order to know their worth and their virtue. And it is a blessing from Allah Azza wa Jal that we have our mashayikh present with us, giving lessons and seminars and conferences. And we have those who have spent years and decades in talab, in seeking knowledge and learning from the scholars, and connecting us to the scholars continuously throughout the years. That no doubt, ya ikhwan, is a virtue from Allah Azza wa Jal, and a ni'mah, and a huge blessing. And walillah alhamd, we have heard with our own ears some of the praises for them, and seen the connection that they have with the ulama, with the scholars of our times. And we will just mention some of those praises, ya ikhwan. Takhayyal that we have the likes of the Allama Shaykh Muqbil bin Hadi al-Wadi'i, rahimahullah ta'ala, this Allama who has praised them and spoke well of them, rahimahullah. And these praises are all available, ya ikhwan. They are not something that's unknown or hidden. These praises are well known. And alhamdulillah, from the tawadu' and the humility of our mashayikh, that they don't go around mentioning them. But walillah alhamd, they are there, they are available. That we have, ya ikhwan, the likes Shaykh Muqbil bin Hadi al-Wadi'i, rahimahullah ta'ala, that he referred to them as ikhwanuna. They are brothers for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, as Salafiyun. The brothers are Al-Maktabatu Salafiyah, of Salafi publications in the city of Birmingham. Then he said, rahimahullah, that they are mentioned with goodness and love for the Sunnah and calling to it, and for waging war against bid'ah and hizbiyyah. This was his speech in relation to them, that they are known for their love of the Sunnah and calling to it and waging war against bid'ah and hizbiyyah. We have likewise the praises of Shaykh Hassan al-Banna rahimahullah, praising them on numerous occasions, referring to them as mashayikh, as he said rahimahullah, that they also have with them many mashayikh, from among them Shaykh Abu Khadija. They have knowledge, with them is knowledge, and other than him like Shaykh Abu Hakim, Bilal, all of these masha'Allah, and many other people beside them, that they have many other students of knowledge with them from their likes. Then he said, so it is lazim, it is a must, that they traverse upon their way, because they have indibat, that they are firm in their principles. They are grounded in their principles. Walillah alhamd. How many praises do we have from Al-Walid Shaykh Rabi', Hafidahullah Ta'ala? We are going through his book. How many times on numerous occasions has he praised them? And this is something known from the Shaykh, that if you were to visit the Shaykh and he knew you were from the UK, then he would advise you to go back to the Maktabah. He would advise you to go back to them and to study with them. And he said, Hafidahullah Ta'ala, and we will read a brief quote that is found on the Dar al-Sunnah website. And that is, they said, Hafidahullah, that by Allah, we have seen over the years many of the youth in the West who wanted to give da'wah and had with them zeal and great effort. But sadly we found that when they broke away from their brothers in the Maktabah, that they were misguided and began to misguide others. For we have never seen anybody who broke away from them except that this was what he was upon. So be with them, and cooperate with your brothers. And that which is difficult for you, seek their advice in, and return your affairs back to them. And then he made supplication for Allah Azza wa Jal to bless the brothers at Salafi publications, specifically Abu Khadija and Abu Hakim, Hafidahumullah. And likewise Shaykh Ubaid, Hafidahullah Ta'ala, Shaykh Ubaid bin Abdullah al-Jabiri, Hafidahullah Ta'ala, that he was asked about cooperating with them, with the Maktabah Salafiyah, and regarding the claim that they are ghullat, that they are extremists. And he said, Hafidahullah, that we know in these days what has afflicted Maktabah Salafiyah in Birmingham from a people who ascribe to the Sunnah. And these people, I don't know what has carried them to make this audacious attack. And we, all praise is due to Allah, know the Maktabah for years. And that which we advise everyone who is affiliated with the Maktabah, regardless of whether it is someone who is part of it, or one who listens to its lessons that are organized by it, or who is close by it, that they don't pay any attention to this audacious attack. They don't pay any attention to this audacious attack. This is because the Maktabah, and all praise is due to Allah, Allah has paved the way for it in the last few years. And in this kalam, the speech of the Shaykh is old, Hafidahullah Ta'ala. And he said, from the people of knowledge and excellence who have become tied with it and who have acknowledged and partaken in its striving according to Allah Azza wa Jal, And I emphasize that you do not pay attention to this hateful, large-scale attack from some of those who ascribe to the Sunnah, and we know them to be students from the Islamic University of Medina, and we know others, but we do not like to name anyone. And that which I advise the Muslim men and women who have an attachment to the Maktaba Salafiyah is that they have patience and seek aid from Allah Azza wa Jal and not be deceived by the large number of opposers. And this, ya Ikhwani Fillah, is just some of the speech of Ahl al-Ilm in our times in relation to them. And walillah alhamd, and this is not something new, ya Ikhwan. And this is all, ya Ikhwan, just a reminder to us and to acknowledge that blessing that Allah Azza wa Jal has bestowed upon us by way of having our mashayikh and our elders to return back to, and who the scholars have encouraged us to return back to, and that we have love for them due to their firmness upon the Sunnah, their love for the Sunnah, their ghirah, and their jealousy and protective jealousy for the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal, their love for the people of Sunnah, and their constant advice and constant concern for the Salafiyun. And this, without doubt, ya Ikhwan, is a huge blessing that we should take advantage of and to benefit from them, from their ilm, from their khibrah, from their experience and their knowledge. And we see, ya Ikhwan, as is coming up, an entire conference whereby we can go and learn and study under them and benefit from them. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jal that He preserves them and He rewards them immensely for their juhud and their efforts that they have put in educating the people about Tawheed and Sunnah, and that He allows us to benefit from their knowledge, and that we avoid and stay away from those who slander and attack and have hatred and deep enmity towards the people of Sunnah and their da'wah. And when you look at them, where is their da'wah? Where's the fruits of their da'wah? Those who are attacking them, what efforts have they put in? What communities have they cultivated and nurtured upon Tawheed and Sunnah? Where are the books that they have gone over and finished? The books of Aqeedah, the books of Tawheed and Sunnah, that we find by the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal, that our mashayikh have gone through teaching the books of Aqeedah, teaching the people the books of Sunnah, teaching the people about the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal. Multiple classes, spreading knowledge, according to Allah Azza wa Jal, according to the Sunnah of His Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And that is no doubt from the fadl and the virtue of Allah Azza wa Jal that He has bestowed upon them. That they are patient and they endure and they continue with their da'wah and they continue to teach the people and nurture the communities upon that which will earn the pleasure of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, upon the Kitab and Sunnah for decades by the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal. So we need to focus, ya Ikhwan, and prioritize ilm, prioritize knowledge, to stick with the people of Sunnah and Salafiyah, stick with the people of knowledge. May Allah Azza wa Jal rectify our situation and preserve the people of knowledge, preserve the people of Sunnah and Salafiyah, and make us firm upon His deen, حتى نلقاه, until we meet Him Tabarak wa Ta'ala. And I apologize, ya Ikhwan, for the lengthy response to this. It's just something that we felt we needed to address. And we will leave it there بإذن الله تعالى. وجزاكم الله خيرا. وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. وبارك الله فيكم.